is said about wealth is this guy is worth about like almost $200 million or so. And it said one thing that really stuck by me. Degree of wealth is just really how high or how low your costs are to earning power. Really. That's it. So you can be earning as little as $10, but if your costs are like 5 cents, you're also wealthy, right? But you can also be earning $100,000 and your or $100 million and your costs are $10 million. Again, the degree to which your costs are to your earning capacity is really how wealthy you are. And so from my experience, and I think that's applicable to anyone, as a personal finance master, as somebody who has been able to achieve over 812 credit score, which is for like the top 0.01% of the US economy, someone that's able to have over $220,000 in credit limits with only about 18 credit cards, and I was able to save over $120,000 in a short time that can put us on financial goals. I'm telling you, wealth really boils down to two things: increasing your earning power or reducing your costs. At the core of it, you need both, right? Because if they are both rising, then you're probably not going to be wealthy. But again, depending on how much higher your wealth is versus your costs in life is, that's how wealthy you're going to be. So today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can cut costs like the 0.1% without affecting your quality of life, without living miserable, without eating ramen or beans. Now, in all reality, it depends on what you're in life. You might have to eat ramen and beans and water for a little while. It's temporary. I'm telling you, I remember when I was trying to pay off my debts, like way back, I wasn't eating ramen or beans, but I was just bare minimum. I was paying just the rent, no shopping, no travel. All the money I was earning, all my 6-figure salary was going towards just paying off my debts, paying off my debts, paying off my debts. And once I became debt-free, I was able to start enjoying my life back again. So there's a time I'm faced. Like I remember way back, like when 6 years ago or there, about 7 years ago, I was sharing a small room with a friend. This was a while back. Now I can live in higher end apartments. So it's all about a season. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how the rich get richer by cutting costs strategically, not just cutting costs anyhow. And when I look at my students, those that are successful in achieving their financial goals versus those who struggle, they are the ones that understand the strategies on how to cut costs without risking quality of life while trying to obtain the maximum surplus they can obtain on their finances. And don't look at cost cutting as anything like drastic. Look at these big companies, the trillion-dollar companies: Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft. They're all cutting costs. Google, Microsoft just recently announced a buyout program for their long-term employees or employees who are older, right? If your number of years of service to the company plus your age is equal to 70, they're offering you the opportunity to step out on your own terms. So some companies are also many companies eating, like there's cost cutting everywhere. And these companies are making tens of billions of dollars. Now you can say they are spending money on AI or this, it doesn't matter. They're just trying to be strategic in their finances. So if these companies worth trillions of dollars can be cost cutting continually, who are you? Are you worth up to $1 trillion? The person that could be worth up to $1 trillion is probably in the making, but we don't know yet. That's Elon Musk, but I don't know. We don't think it's going to be up to $1 trillion, but it depends on the stock valuation, right? But even then, Elon cut his costs. He doesn't own any home outside of, it lives with his friend when he goes, when he travels. Again, thinking about cost cutting and how to cut costs is very important. And so today, I'm going to share with you 5 steps that's helped me to achieve strategic cost cutting while keeping my quality of life optimum and enjoying life. Number 1, you got to be specific on how much you want to cut your costs by. A lot of people struggle with this concept, like just think, oh, let me cut out Starbucks, let me cut out Netflix. No. You can even have 5 Netflix subscriptions. You can be taking Starbucks every day. But when it comes to time of cost cutting, you have to think about the priority. Like, what is your number? You got to prioritize the steps. Don't just go out there and say, let me cut my car payment. Let me go out there and cut my rent. Of course, rent is the biggest mover for most people, right? Rent or mortgage. But we need a place to lay our head. What if you cannot cut your rent? What if you don't have anybody to share a room with, right? You got to start thinking about how much do I want to cut my cost by? How much? $5,000. And is it per month? Is it per year? Is it per quarter? You got to be able to be specific on how much you want to cut your cost by. I tell people every time when they come to me and say, oh, Paul, I'm trying to reduce my cost. I ask them, okay, what's your goal? There's no goal. Oh, well, I just need to cut my cost. By how much? And I know that they can be ChatGPT, they can be Claude, they can guide you on it. But like for you, you have to be able to determine how much you want to cut your cost by so that you can be able to think about the best ways to achieve that goal. It's like financial goals. Actually, there are 3 financial goals typically, right? Increase your net worth, really. Save more money, or invest, or cut down your cost. That's it. Really 3 ways to be wealthy. But I mean, there's only so much you can cut your costs by. But I don't want to deceive you by saying that there's nothing you can do without cutting your costs. Like cutting your costs is always number one thing you should think about. And you also have to I want to put this mindset that it's not about being broke or being like scarcity minded. You got to cut costs. Let's cut their costs every time. Some of them downsize their investment estates, they cash out, they change their properties. You're only seeing their lavish lifestyles, but their lifestyles are equivalent to what? Is it just 1% of their net worth? Is it 0.05%